Bonjour, hello, hola, jumbo, hey y'all, and all of that. Thank you all for tuning in to episode 3 of the Southern Gent Presents Here I Am. And I am thrilled to be bringing you season 2 of the Southern Gent. And I promise 10 times that I'm going to start releasing the podcast for your listening pleasure. I also promise 10 times that I'm going to be on time. I am chronically late, as my friends know, but hey, I'm working on these things. So if you don't know, I am your humble host, Eddie Wiley, and you're in for a treat, so stay tuned. For the past 2 weeks, I've spent time away from Atlanta and traveled to my hometown of West Memphis, Arkansas. For one, I didn't want to be in Atlanta for Black Pride. Y'all seen the fight videos, but I love Atlanta. It's not the city. It's just sometimes people come in and just want to fight. I just didn't want to be around it. Hey, fight away. Do what you do. But then also, I needed to find that balance, recenter myself. And West Memphis tends to do that for me. I've spent valuable time with family and friends. I've even healed some broken relationships that were way overdue. So the time has been nothing short of magical. And for that, I'm grateful. I encourage you all to remember that place that you can recharge. For some of you, that's a physical location. For others, it's a mental or spiritual place. Either way, transcend beyond what's causing you angst and thrive in the beauty that is called life. Hold on, I need to clear my throat. So, I told you to stay tuned because this is an episode that you don't want to miss. My guest is none other than recording artist, poet, advocate, and all-around badass, Michael Lamb, also known as Miss Mikey. Hey, Miss Mikey.
I'm
How
so
in the
excited
hell
to be.
are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm so excited to be here, and that was quite the intro. I don't know exactly what I got myself into, so shout out to the pregame.
Well, we pregame already too, because I don't know, they had me a margarita.
I live.
So before we begin, I want to thank you for your advocacy in the HIV community. I remember being sent one of your articles from thebody.com. Oh, thebody.com. Kenyon was the editor with his fine ass. Hey, Kenyon.
Your
Um,
favorite Butch Queen's favorite Butch Queen. Shout out to a black queer man was signing my check. So hey, shout out to Kenyon.
Yes. So I was talking about the article. I got off track for a second. I'm sorry. So it was from May of 2019. And that was my introduction to Miss Mikey. And I know that you had your own blog, but tell me, how did it feel to have your message broadcasted across such a respected brand in the field like The Body?
First and foremost, I was given a duty on this realm to spread love and support motherfuckers and just make sure that everyone is thriving in an equitable fashion, and I can thank nobody but God for that, right? And so my messaging came through writing, and so for Kenyon to reach out in such a way saying, hey, I like your messaging, I like your delivery, I like how you put everything out into the forefront, because before I was on the grand stage of The Body, which was so humbling. I had all these people literally at my fingertips as I was typing this experience that I went through, that really have caused blood to be on people's hands who was in charge. So for me to write that article and it get into the hands of so many people, it was just so humbling, because I write about some shit, but to write about that and to have people relate, retaliate, and be inspired by it, I'm humble.
I think that is awesome because thinking about all of the people's lives that you changed and actually shared your story by just being open it's just great. I love that feeling because it is humbling. So I am going to be completely honest, and I want to thank you for this because this is a healing for me. It wasn't until I read that article from the same year, I think you talked about why it was you are a social justice advocate. And so I have had an arduous relationship with the white gays and what you call the typical white gay, Lord. From difficult working relationships to arguing with strangers in a bar to being fetishized by men looking for this BBC, honey. I just haven't had the best of luck. So there were several guys that gave you advice about being in these black spaces. What would be your advice to another white guy that finds himself in these black spaces?
That my advice first and foremost would be, go into these spaces understanding that it's not all about you, even though you're going to be the one that stick out. Realize what that feels like, and not being able to relate to certain, stories, certain references, certain card games. Because you just don't go in there, faking the funk. And then once you're around these spaces and you hear of like books and TV shows, go ahead and not study, but become familiar if these are people that you're going to continue to be around, no matter if it's an entertainment space, a public health space, a space of intimacy. Don't go in there knowing that it's going to be a different experience than what you're used to, and that your own biases have led you there. And I'm saying that in the nuance of, I know my experience when I was growing up, with being with my proximity to blackness being so close, right? I would watch like Flavor of Love and see certain TV shows and magazines and stuff like that, and I would use those references. But I know, coming from me, saying, "Oh, you can't go in the pool because your weave might bust." Hold up, bitch. Having those humbling moments, having those moments to look back on, like, "Oh, I've been fucking up." So, not tread lightly, but just appreciate it. And know how to show that appreciation, and don't overdo it. Don't get locks. Don't say the N-word. Yeah, and love who feeds your soul. Don't let anybody become like your fetish, or you want to just try and sample these things, because that's no. Love who feeds your soul.
I love that. That is a tweetable moment. Love who feeds your soul. I love it. So, kind of switching gears, in another article that you talked about, losing a friend. And so we've both lost friends due to complications from AIDS, which should also include mental health, should include socioeconomic status, and much, much more. And I wish there was a better answer to give folks that are struggling with their diagnosis, but there ain't. So I know for me, I felt like I didn't do enough, or thought to myself, what could I have said to help them? But that's not realistic. We continue to lose brothers and sisters, and it's a continuous fight. So what keeps you doing the work that you do, even after all of the possible darkness and sadness that you encounter?
What keeps me going is the fact that, what keeps me going is access to these resources, and I'm living with a virus that has claimed the lives of so many. So what keeps me going is, again, making sure not only we get that equitable future, but motherfuckers is really dying out here. There's so much shit going on motherfuckers is dying. Which is so manageable and can be controlled to give you a longer lifespan. We need to make sure this is happening on all the forefronts. And to the most marginalized folks, if we're going to start with that, we need to start and bring our focus on black trans folks, black trans women, black trans men, black non-binary folk. We need to start there. And if these folks are, we'll give you, an honor room, we'll give you a stipend, and we'll fly you out here and do all these things, and then you're going to go send them right back to a shelter. Why are we not employing, certain people? Why don't you listen to the people who are experiencing these things, and not the people who are actually on just witnessing it? Because motherfuckers, they love me in a boardroom that they'll kick me out of. But they're listening to me, as opposed to you with being so angry and so ungrateful that you're in the position that you're in, and they'll put you as a tester and give you $27,000 a year. That's not right.
No.
And I saw your email signature, MPH. Let's do, come on, you got dues.
And that's the thing. I believe in that, hiring people, because the reason I got the degree, people don't have to have degrees. I got the degrees because people force that into it. So I wanted to open those doors for people who don't have degrees, because you can't learn this shit in the street. In the school. You have to learn this shit in the street. So I definitely think that it is really important for people to understand you need to hire people, you need to pay people what they're worth, and you also need to value their input.
And hire within, and that not only goes from within your company, that goes from within the community. Hire from within. You got to build the foundation. I don't want to go from my kitchen and then walk into my bathroom, and that's a fucked up foundation. And then what's my roof gonna look like? You know what I'm
Hello.
saying? So again,
Okay.
so it's building that foundation. Go within these community resources. Where are you testing this van at? Does anybody that hang out at this gas station want to volunteer? Fuck volunteering. Y'all want to get on this payroll and become a tester? Go to these spaces and that you're really benefiting from, because it's all about numbers. Unfortunately,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
they describe us as clusters and zip codes.
Mm-hmm.
We're people. How dare you? There's work to be done. And for me
Exactly.
to have this gift of messaging through poetry and art, y'all, I don't give a fuck if y'all kick me out, because I'm coming back, because it's open to the community.
Okay.
Because it's open to the community. The
That
fuck?
part. And we definitely love it. We enjoy the realness because that's what is actually going to end the epidemic. The realness of the community. And I don't know if people understand, like, rioting and like all these other things were at the forefront of the HIV movement. And so the COVID emergency preparedness, they modeled a lot after the HIV movement. And it was only because of those people who were fighting, arguing, loud, laughing, cussing, doing the art.
They stopped the church. They literally were like, y'all, these are our bodies that are being stacked. We can literally stack our bodies within this church, and y'all are ignoring us. Here is our flesh, throwing pig's blood at senators. Like, are you crazy?
And they
Whatever Malcolm X said about whatever came from a peaceful rebellion.
okay, you know, hello.
I'm like, come on. I just said this earlier. Jesus flipped the table. Like, what's he?
I've been on the flip a couple of times, but that's another story.
I live.
So a little while ago, you endured your own health scares, and I saw folks send you a lot of love, a lot of prayer, and a lot of good thoughts. What was your response to that outpouring of love?
That I am loved, that I am truly important to a lot of people, that my art has, made me relatable to strangers, that I've put in the work. And I'm not gonna say it took me to be literally like fuck knocking. I was, on death's door, like, hey, ringing the doorbell and everything. Because I got to the hospital and they were like, sir, we don't even know what's wrong with you. At this point, we're just trying to get you stable. So having to do all of these things and having to hook all these cords and shots and put something in my neck and through it was just so much happening so fast. And that was my first ambulance ride. My best friend was with me from start to finish. So again, seeing my mom and my sister have to come, 1,200 miles away to come just like see what exactly is going on. Nobody knew anything, but they were just really praying for the bigger picture. And so many people have been lost, not only, from people on the big screen, but to people, around the corner from you, people who share the same bloodline as you. And so it's just like life is really so short, and to be in like this gray area for like 8 days and nobody knows what's wrong, you're getting better, and it's just like God didn't allow me to like crash, but it was definitely like I had to pull over and get my brakes checked. Like, what's going on? Check engine light has been on. So I was like, wow, like, and just seeing people band together and pray for me and call and text, and to hear some bitches that's still mad, like, oh, maybe that's karma. It's like, pussy asshole, like, right. But it's good because I lived through that, and I can write about it now. I can talk to people about it, and I can just really enjoy every hug, every text, every light shade, every like, okay, this may be a test, because bitch, I know what this looks like.
Okay. I think that is so
It
good.
felt really good, and I couldn't thank you enough, because ever since you introduced yourself to me at Bulldogs, it's been love. Every time we saw each other, it was a nice warm hug, a cute smile.
Are we back? Wait, once I can hear you. What you say?
Okay, sorry. And it was always good. It was always a good vibe. And so I appreciate you for being consistent because hoes be folding.
They they do, and that's one thing that I always try to not try. I do put extra effort in making people feel welcome because you never know who may need a hug, who may need a smile, and I always try to offer that because I don't always get that when I need it. So I'm like, you know what? I just love people. Like I do. I just love people. So on the other end of that love is something that we talked about on our pre-show call.
Okay.
Heartbreak. Child, we could go on and on and on and on and on about breakups. Give
Right.
me one of your most valuable lessons learned after a heartbreak or breakup.
Oh my gosh. One of my most valuable lessons. Don't get lost finding yourself. I mean, I know me. I was, I gave literally my all into that relationship, and it was just like, wow, I really invested so much. I I lost what made me happy and my creativity and supporting his craft and his talent and showing up and pulling all nighters, helping make costumes and things of that nature. I wasn't going to shows. I wasn't writing. I wasn't doing that thing because I didn't feel that support. But since it made him feel good that I was this down ass bitch,
Mm-hmm.
and I kept doing it because that was my dude. Hello. So
Okay.
again, when he dumped me, bitch, when he dumped me, bitch, not only was I gagged, it was one of those like, damn, like, how do I really get back to me? So of course I indulged in food, a lot of sex, a whole lot of smoking, and I really was spreading myself so thin because I jumped right back into work, into traveling, into rocking shows, photo shoots, mixtape, filming different things for different scenarios that didn't end up falling through. That's a whole nother podcast, child. But I was spreading myself so thin because I wasn't full to begin with. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I had a mental breakdown, lost another, actually that was around the time when I had my breakdown that what involved helping that escalate and elevate to what it was my ex-boyfriend passing away. So within a span of me and my boyfriend breaking up, my grandfather dies, my gay sister dies, and then my ex-boyfriend dies. So, bitch, I would legit every time it was, 3 steps forward, it was 5 steps, 10 steps, 20 steps. It's like, but again, I
And
still
how do
got.
you move from that? Because that is so admirable to have all of that loss. How do you move to that next thing or back
I
to
write,
the
I write, and I see the change that I'm trying to be the example of the change I want to see. I'm literally putting myself in these spaces to help people, and whenever I'm testing someone and it comes back non-reactive, and they're like, yes, let's do it. I'm celebrating with them, and then I that happened, and they were like, oh my god, I don't mean to disrespect or discredit what you're going through. Fuck that, bitch. You good? Like, what's tea? Trust me, I'm good because I'm here. Period.
yeah.
So but then when I give that life-changing, trail altering, news of a positive diagnosis, again, I'm there to help them and provide resources to the best of my ability while respecting the boundaries that they have in place for me coming into their life in such a way. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you can't fold. I can't. I got shit to write about, so I got shit to talk about.
Hello. And so when you're writing, as a fellow artist, I write all the time and I'm sad or in these dark moments. Consider me like a Mary J. Blige. So what is your like most inspirational time to write?
Child, heartbreak, anything that has to do with a man, whether I was just got a compliment, whether I just had a cute session, whether I just got tried and I had to block somebody's number. Unfortunately, no shade, men inspire a lot of the shit that I write, and I could be inspired by a man but be talking about going to a protest. I could be writing about a man. I could be thinking about a man, but I'm just really feeling like, oh, I'm that bitch. And then I could also be thinking about a man and be real lovey-dovey or real bitter or real, shit, X-rated.
Okay.
Right.
That's my favorite.
Right. So unfortunately, while being unfortunate, if that makes sense, men inspire me to write. That's the most Like when I'm ready to write and I'm inspired, it's usually by either a life altering event or just thinking about, men that I have as friends, men that I have who have, provided me with knowledge and love and safety and comfortability and paychecks and orgasms. I
Hello.
love talking about, my grandfather was a great man. I could write about that man, God rest his soul. I
Yeah.
love men and I love being a man, period.
Period. So, when was the last time you wrote any poetry?
Something new, probably about a week. No, 2 weeks ago. 2 weeks ago. Yes.
Do we, the fans, get an exclusive release one day?
Well, you already have one, so you are. So go ahead.
Yeah, we ain't gonna tell them.
No, feel it.
They hate,
You just had to throw that. You had to throw that in their face.
Let them hate. I got something on the new.
So
I'm an emotional bitch when I perform. Like I be crying and I feel it. So where do you channel your emotions when you're on stage?
Oh, I channel it. Well, I always I always pray before I go on stage. I always do like quick tongue twister practices. And the place I really go is just like where I was when I was writing that. Like, okay, I was here, my post-it notes were over here, my books were over here, I had my gar over here, I had, black and mild, I had my blank, I just go back to that place where I was really feeling my shit. And I don't write on my phone because when I write in a notebook and I scribble and I put arrows and I write, you stupid bitch, you messed up. Like I have that memory embedded in my brain because I'm reading it, and then I voice record it. So I go right back to that moment when I'm practicing and I'm just hungry for it. And then I'm in front of all of y'all this time. Shit, let me bring you to the lab, which is where we're at right now, which is what we're building, which is what we're building. So y'all get to see the process, because baby, and this is a humble brag again. God gave me this gift. I put on a show, motherfucker.
We love it. We love it. And we get behind the scenes access into what's going on.
You got to.
So how long have you been singing?
I don't sing. Child, if
you were singing on that song.
Well, that was auto-tune. Shout outs to Armani Sound. He is a dope engineer, Bench String Studios all day. I remember when Armani was recording in his bedroom, it was a desk, a MacBook, his bed, a chair, and a microphone. And we made shit happen. And now my dog doing big things. So first and foremost, shout outs to you, Armani Sound. But yeah, no, I don't sing. I do poetry, and I'm enjoying, like, I guess, rapping right now.
I've heard a little tune or two because I did listen to one song from the previous EP, child. Because me and music got a bad relationship right now because I be going to these places. So now I be trying to write my own rap. So I know you wrote on this project. Let's talk about the project. So tell us the name of it, like the release day. What is it? What's going on?
Okay, so my title is OHWF, and that stands for Only Weak Hoes Fold. And I am gonna let you know that it's coming out in December, and it'll be a really cool month. You just have to wait for it. So, I know a lot of things happen in December. World AIDS Day, Christmas, my zeroversary. So who knows what day it may fall on, but it's coming in December, period.
It's coming.
Yeah. So Only Weak Hoes Fold is coming soon.
Only Weak Hoes Fold. So this process, what's been the process? What has it been like for you?
Stressful as hell, mentally, physically, financially, but it's been really fucking dope from start to finish. I've just been really writing, I've been reflecting, and I've been surprised at myself. I'm enjoying the process. I'm really enjoying dipping and dabbing into another form of art, another form of expression, because I love hip hop. I always wanted to be in radio. A lot of people don't know that. That was one of my biggest dreams. Well, that is one of my biggest dreams, is to be on radio. So, I mean, of course, being, let's call it what it is, being a white guy in hip hop, you got to come with your shit. Some shit you can't say, but what you can come with, you better know it. You know what I'm saying? So that had to So that had to be me. Shout out to the Fat First Lady Nikki at 105.5. Well, 98.5 now, but that was her platform then when she gave me a microphone. So,
Okay.
I mean, I just really enjoy hip hop, and this is me showing my appreciation, but sticking to my poetic roots, of course.
Okay. So what is the story that you're telling on the EP?
Don't fold. And the bitches that do, I'm not calling them weak because life does kick you down, but it's more so folding with like your morals. You ain't never supposed to like go against who you really are. Like even though you're changing and upgrading and moving a certain way, don't move funny. So
Mm-hmm.
just my thing is, keep moving, but don't move funny. And I have a lot of fun on it. I'm talking shit. I'm talking a lot of shit. Then I got a collaboration that you heard, featuring my good sis Naja Monet. She's an amazing, amazing singer from St. Petersburg, Florida. And then I got another track with Donatello. He's from Orlando, Florida. It has been a long time coming for me and him to get on a track together. He put me on his mixtape Symphony Number 5, and that was really dope. But from that to this, we've both grown so much, so it's only right we gave it to the people.
Give it
Like,
to me.
it's real Florida. Florida. We have a certain sound. You being from the South,
Mm-hmm.
you know how we sound. You know what we like, and
Mm-hmm.
yeah, Florida's been doing its thing. Shout out to Black Fairy, Chico Got Bars, Pedro Losa. Jet Lag. Bunky, all them. Shout outs to y'all.
Shout out to them. Yes, you finna put me on to some new music and stuff.
Got
Okay. We
to.
waiting on the playlist. So, do you have a favorite track so far?
Oh, I kept rereading this question and I kept playing them, and it's like I do, but it's like I mean I don't because I like every track, but the
Every
one
track.
I'm really feeling honestly is the one I sent you, "Smoking and Praying" with Naja Monet. That's gonna do something.
When I tell y'all are gonna be so gagged when this EP drops. Because if it's anything like this song, I got my life. I swear, I was just sitting there, just cooking my life away, just like, come on, this is a buck, honey. I'm here for it. And sis was singing, baby.
Thank
She,
you, thank you.
she was singing. But I got it. So, what emotions do you think people will feel after listening to OWHF?
They're going to feel motivated. They're going to feel like, oh, okay, this is something new. So not shocked because I do my thing with my pen, but definitely taken aback, like, oh, okay, and they're just gonna feel motivated. They're gonna feel re-energized, and they're gonna feel themselves a little bit. They're definitely gonna vibe. What they're gonna do, they're gonna vibe on whatever wave they're on.
I love it. So, what do you have plans until the release?
Just continue to promote, to continue to engage in conversations with beautiful men like yourself, and continue to promote and put a few bugs in a few ears and let people know like, hey, it's coming. I got to finish it. Well, it's finished, but I gotta mix and master and put my finishing touches on it. Really give y'all. I'm gonna give y'all what the fuck I paid for.
Hello.
So that's what you're gonna get, and that's exactly what I'm going to make sure happens. So no matter how many times we have to call our body, hey, did you get my cash app?
Okay, did you get that?
I'm on my way. So yeah, I gotta record it. Gonna get together with the music video, and I'm excited about this rollout.
Awesome. Yes. So, if you could collab with any artist, who would that be and why?
I don't know. Like any artist like ever in the world or like living.
Ever in the world,
Oh my god.
indie, mainstream, whoever.
I don't know. There's like 7 right at the tip of my tongue. But I mean, I guess just recently I would definitely have to say, ooh.
You can get a 7 if you got it.
Okay, well I'll give you 3. I'll definitely do Eminem. And this is in a certain order. He was just like, okay, since you said 7, I can give you like good. So definitely Eminem. Lisa Left Eye Lopez, rest in peace to her. And just to throw it out there, let me say, oh fuck, this is so hard. I want to work with everybody. Fuck, I'll do it for child Saucy Santana.
Oh, okay.
He from Duval, so I gotta show love. So I gotta do it.
Showing love.
Yeah.
So, do you have any like musical inspirations that may have like inspired you over the years?
Oh, I mean, yeah. I mean, I'm ready to smoke. I got my Black and Mild ready. So, I had a drink earlier. So, I definitely got to fuck with my girl, K. Michelle. Cause she be singing about everything I be writing about. So it's like, of course. Like I said, Eminem, Nas, Kendrick, J. Cole. I love Foxy Brown. I wrote my first poem playing Broken Silence in the background, like front to back. I love Foxy Brown. King Fox. Yes. Who else? I love Lauryn Hill, all-time favorite over anybody. And everyone, would you work with her? I don't even know if that would even make sense. Like, because I'm gonna be just looking like that's gonna be my verse. Just looking.
Just staring in adoration.
Right. And it's not like, we all know, mama's gonna, when her energy aligns with, the universe, she'll show up. And girl, I'm not gonna wait for that. So Lauryn Hill over everybody. I mean, definitely a lot of influences. My mom, that's how she introduced diversity to me, because my dad liked rock and roll. My mom, she liked Whitney and Tony and Michael Bolton and the Jacks. Like, she had like all different types of folks. And it was like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I guess everybody can do this.
Yeah, that's what I think about music. Music is so universal to where you can actually it's one of my love languages. Even though it's not a real love language, I feel like music, you can solve almost any need that I have with a good track.
Yes. Something to relate to. That's why I like to write real shit, because you'll be able to relate.
Yes. So how many albums do you actually have in total?
I have one album, and I had a mixtape. That was like my first recording project ever. Like, shout outs to Steve Woods, shout outs to 239 Turk, Fort Myers Finest, period. So I had that. I was gonna re-release it, but I had to edit it too much, because not that I'm ashamed of it, but that, like, now it would have been real problematic. So that's more so of like something that like I have as a keepsake, because it's just so I'm not gonna say that it's outdated to where it would be offensive. I just know where I'm at in my growth. I got enough shit that's gonna get me canceled, child, and I ain't gonna be ashamed of it. But that's my art, and I'm sensitive about my shit, and that's where my mind was, and that's where my pen was at. So I'm gonna keep it. So that is mine. And then I also have an album called Life. That's Lief, and I spelled it that way because motherfuckers lie. And then the EP is going to be my third recording project.
Awesome. I love it. So let's play a quick round of In the Hot Seat with Eddie. So it's gonna be it's gonna be either or. It's gonna be something or something, okay?
Sounds hard.
Yeah. Strawberry or grape jelly?
Grape.
Is it soda or pop?
Soda.
Morning person or night owl?
Morning.
Rich friend or loyal friend?
Loyal.
Would you rather be covered in fur or scales?
Oh, fur.
Netflix or Hulu?
Ooh. Netflix.
So, what's worse, laundry or dishes?
Laundry.
Yeah.
That takes forever.
Same. That was fun, right? I love that.
Oh, that was so quick.
It's in the hot seat to be quick, honey. Back to business. Let's talk about what's next for you. Besides the EP, what else is going on?
I'm, the next, the EP, the music video, definitely some more content after the EP. Nothing like a collective project, but probably like a single here or there. I'm going to be performing in Omaha under the headliner, my sis, Dominique Morgan, at the Lincoln Calling. Unfortunately, there's not going to be a live audience, but it will be streamed, and we're still going to be shooting in a theater. So I'm going to get my life, because, that theater has a capacity and streaming does not. So shout outs to Monica and Brandy, two Black women who broke that record.
Yes, baby.
So, if they could touch 4 million, I'm nowhere near there. But if I could at least get 20,000, I'll be good.
Just let me know. I'll be on shared it. I'll be on streamed it. Hello, I'm trying. And
Yeah,
I
so
definitely dug their Brandy and Monica verses.
yes,
You
that was good.
have a team one way or the other, though.
Say it again.
Are you on team Brandy or team?
Monica, I'm on the winning team. Duh. Who ain't gonna beat my ass?
Hello, I'm not gonna say I don't. I love them both, and I get in this era of life. I will say Team Gunica. Okay, period.
The winning team.
So, Michael, tell me, where can the people find you?
You can find me at you can find me on Facebook and on Michael Lamb. That's my personal Facebook. Personal, professional, it's my shit. And also Let's Talk About It on Facebook as well. And then you can follow me on Instagram where it all goes down. So follow me, even though I don't know the way, at LIEF with Miss Mike. So that's LIEFWITHMISSMIKE. And then there I'll pop up. And then search Apple Music, LIEF, Michael Lamb, and you'll get what you get. Yeah. And what you get is your life.
So once this is done, what I'll do is I'll tag you in all of the posts so that way you can comment where people can find as well. Because we definitely need people to be streaming, huh? So do you have any final thoughts for the listeners and viewers?
Don't fold, you that bitch. It's all going to be worth it. And Stream Life, it's available on all streaming platforms, LIEF. And make it happen. Because you got a lot of people counting on you, especially you, because you owe it to yourself. And I'm rooting for you, bitch.
Yes! I want to thank you a million times for being on Here I Am. This has been thrilling, and I'm so glad we got to do this.
No, like I said, you got to write things down, and you got to support the people who you surround yourself with, right? So,
yes.
Like I said earlier, our first encounter to our encounter now, and me knowing what you're doing, and me knowing your audience, and me hoping that your door was open, for me. I was so elated that you were like, "Oh, bitch, come on, season 2 started. You free? I'm not free when you want." I was actually so you were ready for me. So that is I can't give you enough roses, but I'm gonna give you what I got. And I truly thank you for the platform, for the space, for the conversation. Another outlet for me to introduce myself to motherfuckers.
Hello, and we will have you on as a friend of the show. Okay. Period.
And this is gonna be done.
Thank you again, boo.
Oh no, thank you so much. You have a good night, boo.
You too. And a huge thank you to all of you out there that have tuned in, are tuning in, or will tune in. I really, really, really appreciate all of the support you guys, gals, and everyone in between has shown. The Southern Gent is really a place of healing, entertainment, and a little gag here and there. I want to thank my guest, Michael, for joining me again today. You should be on the lookout for next week's episode. I'll be back in Atlanta, and I'll be joined by my friend, Arthur Brian Banks. I'm working with the time, so y'all let me know if I should push it back an hour. Let me know if I should push it back an hour. Definitely comment that in. So let me know what y'all think, and let me know who you all would like to see as a guest. It could be you. Thanks again, everybody, and ciao.